Cool. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, mate. Yeah.
I'm just going to get us started. This will dictate the, I guess, the rest of the episode, and you'll kind of get a taste for how it goes around here.
Nice.
So we're watching Men in Black yesterday, and I've had a few experiences with that film, and I thought the more we were watching it, the more I was laughing, the more I was thinking back to these experiences. So when I was about 5, I got taken to the pictures to see that movie, Men in Black, Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, and there's a scene with like a big cockroach kind of alien looking fucking thing.
I remember it well.
And I remember it well too. I remember being in the pictures, and I started vomiting. And I got up from my seat and I continued vomiting, and I was running up the aisle vomiting, and then I ran out of the cinema still vomiting, and then I was looking around for a bin with just like the continuous hose of vomit, and then I finally found a bin, I ran to it, and by the time I reached the bin, the vomit ceased.
Well, I'm glad that you had some finality to that experience, some closure.
And the other fun story about Men in Black that I have is I might have been 9 or 10, and I'd just been given a cassette player.
Right.
And we went on a road trip to Auckland, and the only cassette that I had was the single that Will Smith did for that movie.
Here Come the Men in Black.
And I listened to that for 8 hours straight.
Yeah,
and I never listened to it again after that.
No, you wouldn't.
It came on last night when the movie played, and I genuinely like flinched.
Like that song in Zoolander that triggers the guy into rage. Yeah. Yeah, I bet I know the scene that you were throwing up to as well. Is it because they had the guy who played the sort of cockroach human, he was a sweaty, like greasy, unpleasant looking guy. And
do you know
like cockroaches are coming out of his mouth at one point?
Yeah, what's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio, something like that. He was the dude who lost his shit in Full Metal Jacket.
I haven't seen that, which I feel like you're going to be unimpressed about, given the
I've learned to
posters behind the back.
I've learned to not get disappointed when people haven't seen movies.
That's Stanley Kubrick, Full Metal Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's on the list, but the list is long and I'm not getting very far with it.
Yeah.
I'm watching crap like, easy digestible TV in the evening rather than
something you don't need to pay attention to.
Because if you get home from work, you get your kid to bed and it's finally 8:30. You sit down on the couch. I'd like to say I'm watching Full Metal Jacket, but I'm watching the reruns of The Office or something.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, we've got a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine here that'll come on quite often.
Heard it's good, yeah.
You haven't seen that one either?
Nah, I've seen a bit of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got Andy Samberg, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've seen Parks and Rec. That's really funny.
Yeah, I realised that.
Crew. The other thing with Men in Black, do you remember they had that cat and they had a sort of pun about Orion's belt?
Yeah.
And like, you think to it now, there must have been a writer's room somewhere where someone was like, "Oh, what if we make Orion's belt an actual belt and we put it around a cat?" And then
they're all slapping each other on the back.
It was like 1996 or something, and they're all like, "Yes."
Well, another part that I think subliminally fucked me up is at the very end of that movie, it zooms out from the main characters, out of Earth, out of our solar system, out of the Milky Way, out of everything, and then it turns out that our whole universe is like a child's plaything. It's like this alien playing marbles.
Oh, I remember that with the big sort of elongated finger or something.
Yeah. And show that to a 5-year-old, like
too much. Yeah.
That would have completely fucked up my whole perception of what the fuck this even is.
Yeah, hard. I mean, the 5-year-olds now, they're on this, like, probably watching like ISIS beheading videos and stuff, which some would say is bad, but at least it's down to earth. You know where you stand with that. It's not too metaphysical.
No, it is like, what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, all for that. But no, Men in Black. Yeah, it was a good film. And then I never watched the sequels, but
yeah. They were subpar.
Yeah, they generally are. Will Smith though, what a fall from grace. Right.
That's the first Will Smith film I've watched since The Slap. Heard around the world.
Yeah.
I refused to.
Yeah.
And it was only because Victoria wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Because, I mean, he was, like, in his peak. Well, Independence Day.
He's been
like,
peaking for a while, and then
Yeah.
and then everyone found out he's just a cuck.
Yeah, it's not good, eh? When all that I didn't know that backstory until it all came out in the various different news media that came out after that slap, and yeah, he's definitely lived a weird life. Like, how do you let your business get into that state? You know, like, how does that start?
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Because his missus rooted his son's mate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty far down the rabbit hole, you know, like.
Yeah, but surely there was some kind of build up to that. Like,
Yeah, you'd hope so.
it's not just we're happily married. I'm gonna fuck my son's friends.
Yeah. Your turn to do the bins this Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've actually, do you know, they've increased the price of soy milk at the supermarket. I'm gonna root Bad Bunny or whatever he was, and yeah, it's a steep climb to that.
Yeah, and they're dead-eyed children, and
Jaden, but then Jaden Smith was in the Karate Kid, and I remember seeing that movie. Was it Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan? And he was a good child actor, and he did a good performance, and it felt natural. And then obviously, you just see him years later, like on red carpets, doing weird shit.
trying to be avant-garde.
I think that's it when you try to be. And Shia LaBeouf as well, if I pronounce that right. He tried to be avant-garde.
I don't. He's an interesting one. I feel like he is a little bit avant-garde, but he would be one of the few that I would genuinely be like, okay, like you're a bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a lot of fucked up shit from his childhood.
True. He's a good actor as well. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Even Stevens, all day.
We watched one called, I think it was with the Peanut Butter Falcon. Have you seen that?
Is that with that Down syndrome boy?
Yes, in like
that was a good film.
Louisiana or Mississippi or something. And yeah, really good film. A lot of heart. Of heart. Yeah. How have you been anyway? It's been far too long.
Good. Just changing my life one day at a time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Presumably for the positive.
Trying,
Yeah. It's bloody hard, eh? Like.
Yeah, well, I just got sick of being in a downward spiral and just started kind of trying to reverse spin myself,
Yeah.
Like the episode of The Simpsons where they go to Australia and they bring that big toilet that reverses the way the water spins.
Haven't seen it, but I can imagine. I like the image.
If you know the reference, you know the reference.
Yeah.
When we spoke a few weeks ago, you said you had something in the works.
Yeah, I was wondering about bringing that up this evening because it's kind of, I don't know, it'll take us down a bit of a serious like subject matter, kind of, I guess in some ways related to what you just mentioned about downward spirals and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been working on how would you word it? Maybe you might call it a spoken word piece. You might call it like a long form poem or something, which is something I've done in the past and a bit of experience with. But I've been developing ideas for it for a while and then finally like putting them to the page to do with just how fucked up life is for guys in, like you could say in general, but specifically in construction, right? And it's really hard to write because I think if I do it right, it's a message that could be heard and appreciated by people, and people who never get anything ever like this made for them. Just it's something that if I write it and put it out there, people won't necessarily know what to do with it, right? Because I intend it to be nice, and these are people who aren't used to nice things being made for them. But I think if I can get it right, it could resonate with people who it could benefit. But it's hard. It's a hard audience to write for.
Yeah.
So, a lot of rewrites and editing and,
Because, I feel like it would be a fine line between, like, writing it for that demographic and them accepting that and appreciating that.
Yeah.
Or writing it for that demographic, but it being kind of rejected by them, but maybe accepted by another party that you might not necessarily be trying to reach out to.
Which defeats the purpose a little bit because it would be ironic, wouldn't it? Because the point of it is like, I guess, trying to shine light on some people who are in some ways forgotten. Like within our industry, there's noises made about how a lot of guys do it tough. And probably we've both been there in varying capacities as well. So yeah, it's hard. It's the writing's hard, and I'm just beginning to get it to the point where it's beginning to click. And then I've got a feature set at an open mic next Thursday in town. Yeah. So
where's that?
Fringe Bar.
Fringe Bar next Thursday. What date will that be?
I actually don't know. We can find that out.
Maybe September the 3rd, 4th.
Sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ballpark September the 4th on Thursday.
Fringe Bar.
Yeah. And so yeah, I won't be finished then, but I'll just sort of put it out there and start seeing what clicks and what doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, it's the first thing in a while that I've sat down to write that I've gone, I actually really want to get this right. Like, it feels kind of important. I kind of wanted to write it for maybe 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
In a varying way, but yeah, we'll it's just gonna have to be a sort of suck and see type thing. And yeah,
I feel like if you're writing something like that with a purpose, it does pay to be thoughtful and take your time.
Well, in terms of things like, you have to always have your audience in mind whenever you're doing anything. And
sometimes.
True. Well, if you're not if you're being avant-garde, right? You can then that's can be amazing in itself, but that's not going to work with trade.
No,
it's not going to work at all. So like particularly early on in the first however many stanzas, it needs to be showing like technicality, and so everything's like multi-syllabic rhymes. So that when they hear it, they're like, oh well, at least this guy has used some tools to build this, right? Rather than just talked about his feelings.
This guy was talking out his fucking ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's trying to like include references and lingo that you could only know having been in the trade for going 4 years now.
Okay.
So it's tailored to that audience kind of thing. But I'm just it's the first time in a long. I used to write all the time, like all the time, very invested in it, and then probably for a long time, could be 5 years more, I've drifted away from it, and this is the first time that I'm kind of like clicking back into that mindset. So it feels quite significant in that regard.
That's cool. It's a muscle, like anything. If you don't flex it, it weakens. I've found that myself. I used to write heaps and hardly ever write now. And when I go to write, other than kind of my journaling, that's a bit more deeper and private. It's hard to get back into that flow of things. They
say that there's a male creativity curve as well. So you hit peak creativity it's like your mid to late 20s. Now, that's not necessarily saying that what you're producing is good, because you maybe haven't learned how to do whatever it is you're doing well.
Yeah.
But you're like waking up at 4 a.m. with like ideas is kind of peaks at this point in your late 20s. And it's hard to, obviously, like, got an almost 3-year-old, and life's been very different since he came along, just busy, work, Brano, figuring things out. But I don't feel creative in the way that I once did, which I'm hoping is related to like those external factors rather than.
I feel like it expresses itself differently. So you're still being creative. You're doing your renovations. You're raising a son. Yeah,
real elaborate screw patterns and stuff at work as well.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be something eye-catching, but the fact that you're putting in mahi in these different areas might not necessarily be what you want to be doing creatively, but there's still a creative aspect to it, and I'm sure there'd still be a sense of achievement with each of those endeavors.
And the time that you manage to carve out for yourself, which is extremely limited, but it feels real valuable. And then,
That's me, bro. I've got a Monday night every week.
Yeah, this is you.
Yep.
Yeah, and well, I feel very flattered that you've got me here, and you're
I'm glad you came.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's cool. I like what you're I like what you're doing here. Like, obviously, I listen to podcasts most days. I've never even thought about being on one. Like, and just you went, yep, I'm going to do that. I'm going to set it up and get a load of cavity sliders.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Yeah. I think it's important, like, if, you know, I guess kind of similar to what you're writing at the moment, I just had the idea of a space for good, honest korero, and I acted on it.
Yeah.
And everyone said to me, you need to flesh this out.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. If I flesh it out, it's not going to happen. If I spend the time, you know, trying to perfect it in here, nothing's going to happen.
And it's perfect. You figure it out on the job. It's not like, okay, if you're building a house, probably don't figure that out as you go. You need to lay certain things in place.
I've worked with a guy who did that.
Yeah, true.
It took a long time, but yeah.
And yeah, you know, break out all your pipes and stuff at the end. And, put them back in. But yeah, something like this, something that falls into that creative space, you just learn it on the job, and it's perfect. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
How do you feel that? How long have you been doing it?
Shit. What episode is this, Bradley? 29.
Wow.
So, like, probably, like 27 consecutive weeks.
It's a long time.
No, well, actually, no, I took a 2-week break. But pretty much, yeah.
And, like, do you feel that you've, just in terms of how to run it each week, do you feel like you've learned heaps? And no? Zero improvement.
Like, I guess I'm working on myself, and with that comes a different kind of nous in regards to this.
Yeah.
But as for planning or coming up with interesting questions, no, I don't think anything's changed or grown. The space is growing, and we're slowly getting more viewers.
Yep.
But really, I've said it before, like, I don't even know if in a year's time this will still be a podcast. Like, I don't want to put a cap on whatever this is. It's just me talking with real people.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm a normal guy. You're a normal guy. There's nothing like societally special about us, but as individuals, we're really cool people. And that's you're welcome. And that's the idea. And so I just want to talk with people who I know who are cool and interesting. But, you know, like, there's no clout here. We're just a couple of people having a yarn.
Yeah. Oh, no, I like it. I like the premise. It's good.
And it could be anything from, you know, like you were saying before, talking about the toilets in McDonald's, or you know, it could be anything.
That was a beautiful moment, that. Yeah. When in Rome, or whatever.
But I've got notes and I've got lots of questions here. I just don't know who they're not really targeted at anyone.
Oh, so you'll write a question generically, and then it can just be used any given week. So the question might be like, what's your favourite flightless bird or something?
No. All right, here's a good example. Oh, this isn't even a question. Saw a shape in some leaves on a blanket that looked like the warped face of my friend's dog. It's more of a statement. Practice speaking clearly. That's something I need to work on.
Oh, so important, that.
Here's a question. You don't have to answer it. Masturbation. Is it a bodily function? Is it necessity or addiction? And where is the line?
I feel it's closer to a bodily function. Yeah. Obviously, it can become an addiction.
Yeah.
What other bodily functions can become addictions?
Can you be addicted to pooping?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And this is my story. Probably eating, that's a bodily function. That's addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, heaps of them can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like narcolepsy or something, where you just fall asleep without even trying.
I'd love to meet someone with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can get like someone who just masturbates without being able to help it. Like, oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I'm out of control.
Yeah.
Really?
100. They used to throw them in like insane asylums.
Wow.
Yeah, watch any movie set in the like Victorian area where they've got asylums.
Okay.
And there'll be like
degenerate masturbators.
There'll be the degenerate serial masturbator in there.
How good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we didn't really get an answer, but it's a start.
We explored it.
That's cool.
The thing is, we've opened the conversation now, so maybe Chattin can pick up on it with a guest, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah.
Fuck you, Chattin. No, I'm just joking. I've got a bunch of have you ever's.
Yep.
Have you ever been in a car accident?
Yep.
How'd that go for you?
Couple, actually. When I was it was my first job. I was about 20. I drove a van for a catering company. And vans are real skittish on the road if they're not full. And I was going up the No Gorge, and it was raining, and I was probably doing about 60 going up there. So I was speeding, but not insane. But I went around a corner, and the van slipped, and I overcorrected, and the whole thing swung complete 360 across the road into the oncoming lane. If an oncoming car had been coming, I'd be dead. And then it spun right the way around, so I was facing the wrong way. It came in, the wheels in perfect unison together hit the curb. The van flipped on its side into a bush, but the bush was so bouncy, it bounced the thing back onto the road, and then it stopped dead in almost a perfect park. And I was just sat there with terrified. But there were slugs and stuff from the bush all over the side of the van, and it damaged the wheels a little bit, and that was it.
But you bounced off of the bush into a park.
So it was like bushes. I guess the curb was there, and then the van spun completely. It was facing the wrong way. Wheels hit the curb together perfectly, so the whole thing tipped parallel to the curb into the bushes. So I went like that, and then it came back up again.
Crazy.
It was it was terrible. I get accused of being like a nana driver now, and I don't speed anymore.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, and then had a head-on collision. Everything was okay, and I fell off a motorbike as well, which was unpleasant. But so a few, yeah.
That's wild.
What about you?
Nothing too serious. I remember, I would have been maybe 23 or so, and I was on my learner license. I was driving home from a girlfriend's house, and my rear right tire blew out, and I managed to get it to the side, get off the road. And then a cop pulled up behind me as I was trying to assess the damage. I was like, for fuck's sake, this is the last thing I need. This guy's going to ping me for driving on the license and this and that and the other. And he was actually really good about it. He was like, oh, let me help you out, mate. Blah, blah, blah. And as he was helping me, he got a call on his radio that there'd been a stabbing at a Caltex. And they just kept radioing it, and they're like, call for backup, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm cool here. You can attend to that if you need to. And he was like, nah, they'll be right. And switch the radio off.
I think we've all been there in our working day, eh? Someone goes, oh, can you help me sand these frames? And you're like, really, I should sweep up. Going to attend to this much less important job.
Really flat out here.
Yeah.
Okay, Red. What else? Have you ever helped someone you saw struggling?
Yep.
It's a pretty broad question.
Yeah, I have. And I'm just trying to think of a good example of it. Oh, I can give you a funny story here on this one. This is a good anecdote. Okay. So I was in Vietnam.
Oosh.
And lived out there for a while teaching English. And was one weekend, I met my now long-term partner out there, but I can't remember what she was doing this specific weekend, but I took my bike out for a trip myself. Went a couple of hours south of Hanoi to a town called Mai Chau, which is this little kind of mountain village. It's really beautiful. And then pitched up for a little lodge or where you can just basically go and get accommodation off the street there. So stayed overnight, and they had this little trail up this mountain behind. And so I'll go for a walk. And not many people go walking up hills there because it's really hot. So already, and there weren't very many Westerners, no Westerners around, so everyone was giving me funny looks. And I was walking along and just looking at stuff, and there was massive piles of bricks around, which is insanely huge piles of bricks. I couldn't figure out what they were for, and so I was going up this path, and I find this old lady walking up this bush path, right? So steps. And this is where I help someone out. Old lady, she's probably in her 80s, barefoot, feet are bleeding, and she's like dazed and stumbling around on this bush path. And I'd been guiding in Australia at this point, like taking tours in the outback. So like I was quite good at helping people walk and making sure people were hydrated. So, but I can't communicate with her whatsoever. Like she's barely like cognizant I'm there. She's that old. There's no language between us. And so I'm like, oh God, well, what's going on? Like, and there was a little township up above the hill that I knew. So I figured that she'd come from the town above rather than below. So we kept going up, and she's got a little canteen with her, and I'm like making her drink it, like to be rehydrated. She looked cooked, right? So she's drinking this canteen, and we get up to this little town, and this young-ish Vietnamese guy comes out, and he's like, "Oh no, why'd you bring her back? Alcoholic." So they booted their alcoholic mum out, told her to fuck off. She'd wandered off, and I'd been making her drink rice wine the whole way back up the hill. So I found her, got her pissed, and brought her home. And that's what you get for trying to help people.
I mean, the intention was there.
The intention was there, and yeah, there's a lesson in there, but I've still not figured out what it is. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, probably helped other people, but can't think of it.
But that one
sticks out. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Mum's back. Like,
oh hell. I think for myself, the one that pops to mind, it's not funny, but I was working when I was living in the Middle East. I was working in this kitchen, and the kitchen manager or the head chef, kind of whatever he was, it was Smoko, and I was about to go out and have a dart, and one of the kitchen staff, he had her like on the ground, and he was like tickling her, but like quite aggressively.
it's a bit harsh.
And looking at her face, like I could see fear in her eyes. And I was like, oh, that's not cool. I was like, hey, knock that off. And he just didn't. So I assumed the backpack position where you tuck the arms up under here and around the back of the head, and then the legs over top of him.
Right.
And then I just like put all my weight, and then we both fell on the ground and just held him there. And she ran off, and she was like, like
Genuinely distressed.
like she wasn't having a good time being tickled. And he was trying to wrestle me off, but he just couldn't. And I was like, just chill out. We're going to hang here for a minute until,
He didn't Krav Maga you or anything, or?
He couldn't. He was backpacked.
He was backpacked. Yeah, that does sound like I don't like, you watch a bit of the UFC and they put people in holds and then like punch them in the face. It sounds like yours is a very peaceful hold because it takes all your limbs to restrain all of their limbs.
Yeah, his arms were like this and his legs were like this.
What a humiliating, like they could use that in the UFC, not to do damage, but just to humiliate in the first round.
Yeah.
And then let that psychological damage sink in.
And if I really had like managed to, I probably could have started tickling him.
Oh.
Like, how the fuck do you like it?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, that'd be brutal.
Yeah.
But then again, like he probably
tickle him till he pisses himself.
Oh, Eli.
And then drag him through the fucking just through the whole kitchen.
And then do like a 12-6 elbow on him.
Just a tombstone.
Yeah. That's a good answer though. That's like quite an honourable, like gentlemanly, like the gentleman's backpack. Like you're saving it.
The gentleman.
Yeah.
Can we name the episode that, please? The gentleman's backpack. Jesus, these are getting a bit. I must have been in the zone. Have you ever made a conscious and concerted effort to make a change in your life?
Oh yeah, like I'm really good at big ideas. I'm not that good at discipline or consistency, so I do that probably once a week and then fail to achieve it. So,
we're like the same person.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The better question would be, have I actually managed to implement
You stuck to any
Have I
of them?
stuck to any of them? And yeah, sort of. I think, actually, have I? I mean, coming into the trades, I took that seriously. I kind of decided that I spent a lot of my 20s doing interesting jobs and fun things, and I don't regret it. But it kind of I don't think my son Tig was on the way, but he was very seriously being thought about, and other adult life responsibilities were kind of becoming quite intense, and just decided. And I was working at Weta Workshop, which was really cool, but the worst pay imaginable, $25 an hour contractor.
Jesus.
So they need to sort that shit out. I don't mind saying that publicly. That's eye-wateringly low money for people.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Baristas earn more than that.
Yeah, they should be embarrassed about that. It's terribly low paid. But it was cool, and it was a really interesting job. But I just kind of thought, right, I have to put this fun thing aside and come and get a trade. Well, I mean, there were different options at the time, but I always had a lot of respect for someone that knows how to build a house. So I thought I was going to jump into this. So yeah, I guess that was quite a concerted decision that I stuck through to make a change.
Going back to what you were saying about Weta, I feel like I've always been of the opinion that a workplace or a job has to have 2 of the 3 prerequisites.
Yep.
Good team.
Yep.
Good pay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting work.
Yep.
You'll never. It's very rare to get all 3.
Yep.
But if you can get even 2 of them, I feel like it's good enough to stay for a time anyway.
That was how and I'm exactly the same in the apprenticeship. Whenever I was doing a task in my head, I wanted to tick 2 boxes. So, one box is always paid. If it's paying, then that's a box ticked straight away. If it was really good pay, maybe that gets you 2 ticks, right? But then, am I learning something from it? Is it a bit of a laugh? And when you get the jobs, it's just crawling around doing underfloor installation or something. It's I'm not learning shit from this. It's killing my lungs and my back.
Yeah.
The pay's crap, realistically, for what it is.
I feel like every time you and I worked together, we always had ratchet jobs like that too.
Yeah.
Digging out for fucking piles, in a space like this.
And you could even, with that tick box, one of the ticks could be this just needs done for the good of the site or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate tick. But what would annoy me with jobs is when you're being passed around sites and just doing all their shit labor.
Prostituted
but
out.
Basically, I would, I feel like I really like working on one site, and then you work through all the crap stuff and you do the good stuff, and
that's really, where the sense of satisfaction comes
100%.
from. If you're only ever put on shit jobs, then
I was quite forthright with that apprenticeship as well, because I came into it very much calculated from the start. I had money put aside to get through it. The government subsidised it at $1,000 a month in the first year. That's a serious bit of money. That's 25% of probably what I was making. Right? It's huge offset. And it's nope, I'm here to learn stuff. Underfloor installation is great, but I've done that now.
Yeah.
And let's do some framing. So big advantage doing it later in life when you've got a little bit of wherewithal and that sort of thing. What about you?
About making a conscious and concerted effort to make changes. I've had that. When my marriage ended, that was a big change in my life, and that was conscious and concerted effort. And then from there, it was a conscious and concerted effort to keep going, even though I was
not to go back and dwell on days maybe better forgotten, but most of the time that we were working together, I think was basically you were in that place, and it looked fucking awful, mate.
I mean, these things are never pretty, are they? But I think the strength comes from hindsight, and once you reach that future that you're striving for, or even just being on the journey, but being able to look back and be like, okay, I was there.
Yep.
Now I'm fucking here. Like,
Yep.
as bad as it might be now,
Yep.
it's nowhere near as bad as that. And I'm not saying it's bad now, it's great now, but
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Did you ever, I don't know. So what you've described there is really logical, right? You've gone, and I think even at the time, I remember you were pretty dialed in on just like, I'm in the shit at the moment. I'm going to do what I need to do to get out of it. Have you ever got into a point where your brain clicks out of being logical and it just basically the chemicals go off? Basically, a clinical depression. Have you ever experienced that? Because that's where that's where like all the affirmations in the world don't work anymore, and that's rubbish. You know?
Yeah, I've definitely. Let me just fucking speak clearly. I've definitely spoken about that before, like having that void in your chest, like it's like a vacuum just sucking all of your joy.
Yeah.
But anytime I guess I've had an emotional breakdown, I will allow myself like an evening to be really sad and just sit in it. But tomorrow's a new day. Yeah. You know, pull your socks up, carry on. You know, it's all going to be okay. Yeah. And it is. You know.
What do you think about the? I think I don't actually have an opinion on this. I'm interested in. I could go either way, but I do think about it a lot. Guys are given a lot of like anytime you turn on your phone, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, you're getting some person telling you how to do something, and also like self-improvement culture and all of these things. It piles up on you, right? And it's I believe in it. Like I like the notions of self-improvement, and I think I'd be a subscriber to it, but there's definitely some downsides as well. I don't know.
It's a selfish endeavor, you know. I think the real self-improvement is being able to work on yourself and be aware of be accountable to yourself while also raising a family, you know, paying bills, you know, like, being a member of society and also working on yourself. You know, if you're all in on working on yourself, but you're like just a selfish fucking dickhead, you know, it doesn't matter how much you work on yourself because that's not going to do anyone else any good. But then it's just you in this life, but then it also isn't because you got people around you. It's a mixed bag, you know. It's
the whole society thing. Like, I'm on that vibe now as well. I guess we both are fortunate enough to have a first home, and you know, we've got your kids be school age, and Tyke's not terribly far away from being school age. Like we are invested, right? But wind the clock back however many years, 5-6 years, and you know, like we'd be long hair listening to metal, thinking that like society was the stupidest thing ever, and you know,
I still think society.
I've got Viva La Punk tattooed to my chest, for God's sake. Like, like when did that change? When did,
at least it's not Viva La Bam.
Viva La, that would be terrible. That would be get the acetane out, like get that removed. When does that change for? You don't want to be like, when you're 22, you shouldn't be thinking about how to better society. You should be out like fucking revving it up a bit. But at a certain point, it does change. Probably kids.
I think, kids will do that because kids will just change your whole perspective on life. But I think just a bit of life experience, you know, realizing. The more you realize that you don't know anything, kind of aspect. So, like, a bit of a segue, but I was going for a walk yesterday with the girls, and I said, "All right, this is your opportunity." And they were like, "What do you mean?" I said, "This is your opportunity to ask me any questions that you might have about life." Sure. And they were like, "Well, why?" And I was like, "Because we're walking. What else are we going to do?" Yeah. I'm like, "Okay." So they started thinking, and they'd ask a question each. And the more we went on, the questions were really interesting and simple, but like
Yeah.
they had thought about what I had said.
Oh, yeah.
And then they came up with thoughtful questions, and I tried to be as thoughtful as possible in answering them. But it kind of started off with why do we have to pay taxes?
Yeah. A lot of people seem to not understand that. Yeah.
And fair enough that, 9 and 10-year-old don't understand that either. But yeah, same.
Yeah.
But I basically explained, well, taxes are for the things that everyone uses but that nobody owns. I felt like that's kind of blanket way to explain it. Roads, parks, jobs that aren't governed by anyone, or maybe jobs for people who govern us.
Yeah.
And then what else? Like, why do we have to go through puberty? That was a bit of a tricky one to answer, but got there in the end. But I don't know. Sometimes there's something about that exercise that was really cool. Like just going back to a child's perspective and simplifying everything.
Well, they say that like true mastery of a subject is the ability to explain it simply.
Yeah. And
I don't know about you, I wouldn't say I'm a true master on the tax system. So like it's quite a hard question to answer, like in a way that a kid can understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not a true master of puberty, so never have been. But yeah, they catch you off. Well, I mean, my son's probably not quite old enough to be asking proper questions, but like other kids, they catch you off guard as well. It's
or even like one of them was like, "Why is the sky blue?" I was like, "Some shit with the atmosphere." I don't know.
Yeah, that should almost be like a question that you'd learn in like an antenatal class, because all kids are going to ask that.
Yeah. And
no one actually knows why. No, like person, like none of us know why the sky's blue. It's just fucking like Earth magic, right? Like
and why is it not blue at night? Just a darker shade of blue.
The sun fucks off, doesn't it? Like something to do with the sun fucking off. Yeah.
What's on the other side of the moon? They didn't ask me that, but I'm wondering.
Yeah. Some
Transformers,
something to do with Pink Floyd. Like
yeah. What else? I got more questions. You got anything you want to bring up? I know you're quite a thoughtful individual, so I figured you'd have.
Not really. It was not really. That thing we mentioned before. Been thinking a lot about that. Trying to just. I'm just trying to streamline things, I think, at the moment. So,
I feel like that's what your 30s are for, eh?
Yeah, and compartmentalizing things as well. And, work's not the work from site, but building is bleeding into my home life badly. Like, because we're living in a construction site basically, and I like building, but I am a bit sick of building all day and then all evenings and then all weekends. And Sean is very sick of it, but. I mean, you're in a similar boat. Like New Zealand houses fall apart literally as you live in them, and you got to fix them. And,
I'm just watching this house fall apart so we can afford to do something about it. Like literally and figuratively. It's one of those things. I have been in that position before, living in an active construction zone, and it's not pleasant, and tensions are high. And especially from the female perspective, if they're not in the trade, they don't really understand how it works. They think they do, but they don't. And they're like, this should have been done ages ago. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks. I can't get the parts. Wish I'd thought of that.
Honestly, like, never again will I consciously go into this, like, live in it. Well, and I'll find any way.
Especially having a young child, like.
And he's got eczema as well, so the dust's like,
it's hard, mate.
We bought at the peak, so we've lost all our money on it. And the thing with it is as well, it's not just like people go, oh, I'll just wait it out. But your house is your investment. And if you buy and you wait a few years and maybe it goes up by a little bit, you go to the bank and you show that you've got 20% equity, you can put things onto your mortgage. You don't have to show up to site in a Suzuki Swift anymore. It's not just the actual, let's sell the house now. It's generating equity in it to enable all other things to be able to go on a bloody holiday, you know. So yeah, it's fighting the good fight, but yeah, it's just it's all encompassing, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
Feel that.
Reputtying windows at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kind of satisfying, to be honest. Like
yeah, getting the finish on it. Have you ever felt like a kid as an adult?
Yeah, but it actually took me a little while to think of when, which is kind of maybe a little bit of a sad indictment of just how busy the last few years have been, because you want to feel like a kid occasionally.
Of course.
Yeah, and I haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But going back to when I worked at Weta, I built this. So that would have been the tail end of the lockdowns, and in the lockdowns got back into like building. I grew up playing Warhammer as a kid.
Yeah.
And
I know I've seen your setup. It's epic.
Yeah. So to go and buy all the miniatures and stuff cost an absolute fortune. That's cool, but when I was at Weta, I got into building like the terrain and the models and that sort of thing, like the landscapes, and best people probably in the world to learn from, but access to some of the best tools and all of this. And so, that year before Tide came along, most evenings I built this huge model, which, you might have seen it's in the garage.
Yeah.
And that felt like being a kid again.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like, honestly, my happy place would be like just everyone buggers off and I could build that with a podcast. Like, that would be. Yeah. And you get it a little bit with building houses, but building houses isn't quite the same. Yeah.
I mean, someone else gets to enjoy it when you're finished.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that'd be probably my last one. But
that's really cool.
Trying to sell that model, by the way, if anyone wants to buy it.
Well, if you send through some pictures, I'll get Bradley to put them on the pod.
It's I wanted. Obviously, it took like a year to build.
Yeah.
So
it's fucking massive. I can attest to that.
Would suit like D&D or something.
Yeah.
I wanted. I tried to sell it a few years ago and wanted 3K, which was a lot. Which
feel like that's fair. And again, I've seen this thing. It's epic.
Yeah. I mean, that would be probably half of that would be on materials, to be honest, and then not even close. That's probably somewhere in the vicinity of what it's worth. And then I tried to sell it again at 1,500. It's just so niche. No one's buying. But now it's like I'll let that thing go for a couple of $100 to someone who I think will.
Ain't no way I'd buy it for a couple $100.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a couple $100, and if I did, I'd need to spend on other things.
Pretty common story at the moment. People seem to have. Hence why I'm selling it for a couple of $100 as well. Fair. That and my body and drugs and all that. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you? When did you last feel like a child?
I was trying to think of that when I wrote that question down, but actually, when I think about it now, last night, it was late, and my wee man was he just wasn't tired, so he's got these 4 cars, and they kind of loop together, so it makes a train, and we were just hanging out on the carpet, and he's got this rug in his room that's got all the roads on it. So I just, wheeled them into his room, and he crawled behind and followed. And then just sat there and was just driving it around, humming a little song. And we both just had the best time. And it was like genuine joy.
Wow.
And you don't get that too often,
Nah. Like, people think you have a kid and you get all these beautiful moments. You have to have the time to do it.
They're really few and far between.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to sacrifice something else to get those times.
Yeah. Weekends are better. Weeknights are hard because they'll be doing the cutest thing ever, and you'll just be like, I'm exhausted, know, and But blink and you'll miss it, eh? So it's...
Well, yeah, and I think that's a real blessing. In our case, having such a big age gap is that can see where the girls are at and see where the brothers at, and sometimes, there's times where my initial reaction will be like, oh, no, just not right now. I just need to fucking put my feet up for a minute. But then realizing how fast the past 10 years has gone and,
10 years. Jeez.
Like, it's just gone crazy quick, and you know, girls are gonna be teenagers soon.
That is wild.
And so with the bro, I'm like, fuck, you know, I don't mind being a bit more sleepless.
The bro refers to your 1-year-old son.
Yes.
Yeah, the bro.
He's the bro. He's
bro.
the bro hard.
No, that's good. Yeah.
When I see him, hey bro, he's my bro.
Tyke's mate, but
Yeah.
I guess that's maybe a cultural difference. But nice. How's it? Is it different having had girls and a boy now? Like, is the toys different and all that?
I'll put it to you this way: have you ever wiped shit out of a vagina before?
Well, I haven't got a female child, and so I think if I answered yes to that, there'd be some follow-up questions.
Yeah.
The answer's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrific.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. It's not too much better, but it's enough better cleaning shit off, say, a set of balls. You know.
Yeah.
It's
I've done that.
familiar territory.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then that's just the physical side. Like, there's also the emotional side. I don't understand how grown women work. I don't understand how child girls work.
Child girls. Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Like, I don't know about you. I've tried to understand women. I've not been like, women, I can't live with them, can't live without them, and just shut off to it. Like, I've literally tried to be like, I'm going to figure out how you work. I've opened the old fucking bloody inner eye there. And it doesn't work. Like, they just run on completely different software.
Yeah.
Like, and
that's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
Different software.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm reasonably compatible. Like, I'm not, you know, I mean, I've been in a relationship for 10 years, so something must be working reasonably well. But yeah, just they see things so differently to us. And a lot of people pretend otherwise. And that's crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's, I feel like men for the most part are logical creatures and women for the most part are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
And their emotional intelligence is, you know, up here.
Yeah.
Just like with a man, you know, his logic will be up here. But it's so easy to butt heads on that. And
it really is.
And I think where men need to evolve is opening themselves up to that emotional intelligence and their emotional side. And for women, it's like, just fucking, you know, knock it off. Look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
This is logistically how it goes. You know, it doesn't need to be like
A leads to B, leads to C.
There's no hidden agenda. It's like, I've got to say that sometimes I'm like, look, I'm being straightforward. Like, what I've said is what I mean. There's nothing hidden in there.
Yeah. Stop reading. Yeah.
But then equally, there's been times where I've been like, I need you to say exactly what you mean because don't have the capacity to read between the lines.
Yeah, I'm running old Mac software.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Where Windows 95, like...
If you can... I mean, this is probably like the most obvious statement ever that, you know, generations past have managed to understand perfectly well. I think when you can combine the two skill sets and work together on things, it's unbeatable. But maybe, like, I guess having had a few years of, poverty by anyone's standards, really, like, that's not to be like, oh, woe is me, but I chose to do a building apprenticeship where there's bugger all money. And so, you know, it was genuine, like, not a lot of money to do the nice things. Having a baby's hard with very little support. Like, I think if you can build a life that is just above the shit, like, then you get the space for you to actually use, like, your logic and their emotionality just together. But it's when you're trying to solve problems, like, minute by minute by minute, that the stress builds up and you start butting instead of, like, collaborating. And it's exhausting. Like,
and it's like discernment's key in that, like being able and picking your battles and all of it, you know, like just the capacity to be like, all right, look, this is our situation, we're working together. You know, I can see that this is where you're struggling or this is where I'm struggling right now. Communication, it comes down to communication, really.
I went on the long back-winded story as to why I went on it, but I went on an Outward Bound course. about a month ago, maybe a month and a half
Oh,
ago.
Red, recently.
Yeah, recently. So it was through Master Builders. But it was away for 16 days. And it was actually really hard. Like, I felt bad leaving Shauna with Tig. And maybe the first week was all right. But that whole second week, I missed them so much. And I used to work, I used to do shift work away from, I did long distance with Shauna, and then I did 15 days away and 13 days back. So I'm used to that distance. But now that like we're a family unit, being away for more than a week, I couldn't believe how tough it was. So what I'm basically making the long-winded point of saying is that, you can't live with them, but also can't live without them. Yeah. Like you just have to find a way to make it work, because you do need it. Like, yeah.
And I mean, a de facto relationship and a marriage are no different. It's,
totally.
It's just you having one day of celebration and you're getting the law involved.
Yeah.
But it really is true, though. What they say, like, for better or worse, like you're in that shit together.
Yeah.
And it won't always be easy. But like you say, you've got your little family unit, and for better or worse, like, you're tight and you miss each other when you're not together.
And I guess it's like, I don't know, I think a big problem that faces a lot of guys, maybe not people who are fathers, or maybe people a little bit younger than us, but a big problem that faces a lot of guys is a sense of pointlessness or purposelessness, right? And they're sort of just not sure what they're supposed to do, and they like waft through, and you know what I mean. It gets spoken about quite a lot now. When you're in the shit with a young family, you don't have that. You don't have any of the niceties, but my God, have you got a sense of purpose? Like,
sink or swim.
Yeah. And I was on. I had an objectively I had an objectively more fun, less stressful life back in, say, my mid to late 20s, where, I could just go out drinking with people, and I had all this good fun stuff, but I was taking like Chattin, antidepressant, and I needed it. And then now everything's bloody hard, but I'm not on that stuff anymore. And I think it just comes down to, you wake up and you're like, right, this is what we've got to do. Go. And you just, it's too many. When you have too many options, it short circuits you a little bit,
Yep.
Like Chinese restaurants. You've been to Chinese restaurants?
Yeah.
And there's 60 options. Like, fuck. Like,
You know what you shouldn't do, and which I made the mistake of doing? Went to one of those one time, and I asked the server, what's your favorite dish? I'll have that. She brought out a loaf of bread that had been like hollowed out, and it was filled with like fish guts and baby octopi.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she ate that because I didn't touch it. I took one bite and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever tasted.
Yeah, just get sweet and sour pork like a normal person, Yeah. Butter chicken and sweet and sour pork. That's your two. I'd love to branch out more on the curries, but I just love butter chicken.
Go with korma.
Yeah, I like korma, but I prefer butter chicken. I like a masala, but I prefer butter chicken.
Well, whatever.
But I feel bad about it. Like, I'll get shamed for it by people,
Who's going to shame you? That's literally what every third person's ordering.
Yeah, but, there's always a couple of... My dad loves a vindaloo, and he looks at me like I'm not his son when I get a butter chicken.
Yeah, but is he that guy who's sitting in the restaurant drenched in sweat like, oh, it's fucking good for you?
Yep, sometimes. Yeah. Like grumbling about them like misadvertising Indian hot kind of thing. This isn't even Indian hot. This is ridiculous. I think he's got a problem with me.
He didn't say that later when he's pissing out his asshole.
Yeah. No, I can imagine that would be unpleasant for him. I do some of the other things how the men say yours, but I do black coffee, I like Guinness, I like whiskey. But yeah, just needs to be a butter chicken on the curry. So can't have it all. Yeah.
Yeah. How good. What else? I don't have too many more notes. What have we got? Oh. Ish. Yeah, Bradley normally gives us the radio fingers. It's like,
wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got two more notes here. Naked Attraction. You ever seen it?
Is that the one with the famous like leg cross?
Oh no, that's that's
Fatal
Sharon
Attraction.
Stone. No, what the fuck?
Short answer, no, I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that now. Naked Attraction. It's a show where basically you've got like 6 people.
Yes, and you see them naked.
Yeah.
And yes, I have seen it once or twice.
And then the person will slowly eliminate, and when there's like 2 people left, then they'll get naked as well, and then everyone's naked.
Yeah.
But that was on television, and I was like, this is like a show from a dystopian future, but like in the 80s. Like if you watched a movie in the 80s and they were, it was set in a dystopian future, I feel like that's the type of show they'd have.
Yeah. Because it seems so, it's like a meat market, right?
It's
like,
gratuitous.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's butt ass naked.
Yeah.
And it's completely...
Don't they make, I've only seen it, like I've never even seen a full episode, but I've seen clips of it. Don't they make it almost like scientific-y? Like, he's attracted to the shape of the pelvis, it seemed like. Or, because it's not like super smutty, like they've not got someone going, oh, go for that one. Like,
I like the foreskin on him.
oh yeah, get a bit of that. Like they have, like they make it sort of highbrow, don't they? I'm not really saying
how
that.
highbrow can you make a bunch of naked people picking each other purely based off looks?
Is that rhetorical? Or?
You can leave that up to interpretation.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on that. Yeah.
All right, last note. This is a bit of a heavy one. Would be interested to hear your thoughts on it though. God is death. Death is unknown. Putting faith in a God as a savior is having faith that death isn't the end.
I mean, can I read that just to... God is death, death is unknown. Well, that makes sense because you can't know God. Putting faith in God as a savior is having faith that death isn't the end. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so, I mean, death is the ultimate existential fear for humans, right? So,
like, death and taxes, the only thing you can guarantee are going to happen in your lifetime.
Death is unknown. Putting faith in God as a savior. See, it's the word savior that changes it for me because God is death, death is unknown, having faith that death isn't the end. That's purely, that makes sense to me, right? So that's metaphysical. Like, I don't know what's about to happen, so I'm just going to believe that things will be okay, right? That's kind of faith. But it's the word savior, that's where it gets into like the historical baggage of organized religion, right? Like someone died on a cross for my sins, and now I have to...
Did he though?
Well, this is the thing. So this is where, like, I agree with the premise of we don't know what comes after, and so it's nice to think about something. But when someone goes, oh, you can't eat shrimp and don't be working on the house on Sunday, that's where it starts getting a bit like, well, who actually came up with those rules, you know? And, yeah.
Some like dirty men like thousands of years ago, grubby, bloody like dirt people.
They do reckon though that like, because Western countries, like definitely New Zealand, but most of, I guess, the Western world has largely abandoned Christianity, well, religion, in say in basically our lifetimes.
Archaic, you know.
Yeah, certainly the really hierarchical elements of it, and we haven't really like replaced it with anything. So maybe that contributes a little bit to people's sense of aimlessness. I grew up in a very atheist family. Like, it's bred. The cynicism is bred into me, but I don't begrudge anyone for it, and I'm almost a little bit envious. Like, I'd love to just be like, the book told me this. I'm going to follow these rules. You know, I've only got 3604 at this stage, and it's just it's not the same.
I mean, that's a Bible of sorts. Yeah. Well, you know, ignorance is bliss. I can tell you from personal experience that having all the rules laid out in a book for you isn't all it's cracked up to be.
What was the name of your because you were in a group? for most of your early life, right?
Yeah, it was called the Baha'i religion.
That sounds buzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And for the most part, like, a lot of the writings are really beautiful. But like any religion, in the hands of people, people fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, like, you're going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And it's, it's like, I don't know, it's like if you give a precious piece of art to a toddler, like, obviously they're going to draw on it with fucking crayons and spew on it and make it all sticky and whatever.
Yeah.
If you can have a beautiful message written down, but it's really up to humans to interpret it and fuck up that interpretation.
And in defense, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this, but in defense of the sort of like people who fuck it up for everyone, can you imagine, let's say you were the head of even like a small church like that, let alone like the Catholic Church. If you were a religious leader who people look to for like true guidance in life, and they would trust you with anything and all of this, and you could basically come up with rules and be like, God told me to do this. That's like, people aren't supposed to have that much power. And I can't honestly say that I would be able to do that for 50 years without doing some crazy shit. Like,
I would be a wreck.
Yeah, I'd be real on track for like 3 years, and then I'd be like, actually, nah. I'm going to build me a pyramid, and then and then it would probably go crazier from there, you know, and then like the drugs would come in and it would just the wheels would fall off. But
there's that popular theory around about what's his face, old Moses, and talking to the burning bush, and how that burning bush kind of derived like a DMT derivative.
True.
And how he was probably just getting high as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's entirely possible, right?
I don't know. Let us know your thoughts with a comment or whatever, or a dislike, or a like. That'd be cool.
All the like the Scandinavian and Nordic mythology and stuff. Yeah. There's like in the movie, like the Northman, and there you see lots of good glimpses into it. Like shamans and all across all cultures, they brewing up mushrooms for people. Like and I mean, I'm not a real connoisseur of mushrooms, but I've dabbled a little bit here and there over the years, and that's like talking to God. Like, it's
I've had that on mushrooms one time. Yeah. I literally saw Jesus in the sky, and he was like, "How's your trip?" And I was like, "It's crazy now."
Yeah, and if you were the guy in the tribe that knew where to get the mushrooms, right, and knew how to brew them up, and could tell people that if you trust me, I'm going to let you literally meet God, that's pretty powerful, You could get a lot of like sheep and a good like little hut and stuff, and loads of people to like go and fight other people for you if you do that,
He's like, "I'll show you God," and then he molests you.
Yeah, well, that was the sort of elephant in the room, wasn't it? Yeah. It's me talking about sheep and spears and huts. Or, what I actually meant was, you get to molest everyone. Yeah, for better or worse.
Probably not for the better.
Nah, probably not.
Cool, man. Well, anything you want to promote? You're going to be at Fringe Bar next Thursday.
Yeah. So, it's a poetry open mic, of which I'll be doing the final maybe 20 minutes or something. So just stuff I've written over the last 10 years of my life.
Cool. I'm gonna do my best to make it out long.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
Let me know and we'll tee something up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tough.
That was good fun. Yeah.
Cool. Cheers. Cool. Catch you next time.